Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? It is Professor Red Pill coming at you again. And here it's a Straight Talk News edition. Currently, we are in the midst of a trade war between the United States, Canada, and the rest of the world. I was saying that this could possibly happen, but more importantly, as I predicted, and we'll get to it. The Ukraine war versus recession. So I had predicted that by the summer, U.S. consumers will be tapped out financially. The average American will be demanding an end to the conflict to focus on the U.S. economy. This is the reason why Trump was elected, was because it was the economy stupid. This one main reasons why I was predicting a ceasefire that would occur by the summer of 2025, 24. This was posted on Twitter. It was originally posted on the Locals channel in 2022, when I had started the Locals channel. Links in the description. Rumble 3 gets you 3 months off your first month's membership. I do deep dives. I just posted a deep dive about the European Union and Westernization for paid members. But more importantly, like I said, Zelensky will not be as fortunate in this regard. And I'd covered this in multiple podcasts throughout the last 2 to 3 years that I've been on the Telegram group. It's all their legacy group, Straight Talk Podcast, and the Straight Talk News channel. Been posting about this stuff. It did happen. It was the Republicans did try to defund it while the Biden administration was in power. Once Trump came in, one of his key things, he was like, hey, we're going to defund this thing and try to end the ceasefire, or try to end this war, rather, between de facto NATO proxy Ukraine and Russia. And fortunately, it's not going good. I think it's dead in the water, the ceasefire agreement or the peace deal, because the EU wants to continue this fruitless effort to pursue the minerals and predominantly the gas in the Azov Sea and Crimea Peninsula and Donbass. And they're going to do anything they can to try to get access to those energy rights or energy sources. And Trump is like, yeah, dude, I don't really give a shit about that. I'd rather have mineral rights from Russia, rocket engines that is essential to the NASA space program and Space Force, if you will, as well as energy, things of that nature. I mean, America was buying a lot of oil from Russia previous to the current conflict. NASA was can't get any of their heavy payloads, any type of space, like any type of rockets, like major rocket, Saturn rockets, any of this stuff. They can't get into the atmosphere without Russian engines. They don't have, Elon Musk doesn't have the ability to create these engines. The technology takes years and years and years to develop, decades to develop this type of technology. Most of the rocket engines in NASA currently cannot be serviced because Russia can't service them. They can't be replaced because the only country that has these rockets engines is Russia. And that's why NASA has pretty much suspended all space exploration indefinitely until they can get access to these warehouse rocket engines that are in Russian warehouses right now. But more importantly, like I said, the ceasefire and a peace agreement and reopening the economy, the Russian economy and the European economy, is essential to the United States at this time, as I just broke down for you. More importantly, we're currently in what they refer to as Trump session, and I had called this podcast, draining the CessPit, and there's a lot of truth to that, with Doge and all this, because there's a lot of excessive spending. We know that like trillions of dollars have been put into continuing this conflict with Russia, and ultimately European Union is sanctioning itself, and now EU is trying to double down, and NATO is trying to double down at the casino, and they're trying to roll them dice to see if they can defeat Russia. And it's just, I mean, we look in history, how many other empires have tried to defeat Russia, being it the German German Empire, Napoleon, many others. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So this article was published the 10th of March. We're in the 12th or 13th, depending on where you are in the world right now. Yeah, basically Trump session. Economists say a global market fall. I predicted this in 2014. I had said that you would see. I wrote an article on LinkedIn and published it on LinkedIn in 2014, talking about the 2025 economic collapse. And I had said that it would probably occur within the first quarter of March, or March rather. Well, what quarter are we in right now? Yeah, we're in March. What's the current correction with the current stock market as of yesterday? For the past 30 days, the Dow is down 6.62% for the month. Like I said, just I predicted a 30 to 70% correction starting in March. It will take time, but you'll see over the period of probably the year, by the fall, we will be in an economic depression. It will be a global depression because of the trade wars, because of the war between Russia and Europe, and Europeans' economic decline. The U.S. economic decline over the last 8 years because of the COVID lockdowns and recession and hyperinflation and failed leadership. But let's go back to the previous slide. So I posted this in 2023 on Twitter, and this has been talked about in the Gonzalo Legacy group as well as the other Telegram groups. Those links are in the description. On my Telegram channel, gave plenty of deep dives into this particular prediction that I made in 2024 or 2014 rather. Let's get into it. Basically, the housing is a good indicator for the economy. My analysis is that prices continue to go up and up are not so much a reflection of a strong economy as the Biden administration or any influencer or economist is saying. Oh, it's great times. You remember 2022, 2023. Even in 2014, when the housing market started to recover, they were like, oh, it's the greatest time in history. Go buy real estate. And everybody was getting in and all this. And in a minute, I'm going to show you around me here in Tbilisi. I've got probably 15 cranes, high-rise cranes, building these apartments here, commercial and residential real estate. And they're almost at a dead stall because there's no investors. But anyway, getting back to the point of this Twitter post. So we all know that what this leads to. Basically, housing is a good indicator of the economy. And it goes up and up and up, but not so much a reflection of a strong economy, but a runaway inflation. Understand that, and runaway inflation, because that's basically what the housing market has indicated for the last decade or more. It's not so much that there's a strong economy, a vibrant economy, real estate, make money, big bucks. It's runaway inflation on a global scale. And we know what this leads to, as I wrote in the post: economic depression. See the Great Depression in the United States and the collapse of Weimar Republic in Germany in 1929. Housing prices peaked the third quarter of 1929 in the U.S., then fell by 67% by the end of 1932. This is why I'm predicting in 2023 with this post that by 2025, you will see a housing or market correction of up to 70%. You've heard that right, guys. I said up to 70%. By 2025, you will see this correction starting, which is starting now in first quarter, as I predicted. And this isn't financial advice. This is geopolitical economic analysis based off of my research and the information that I have gathered over the years. Basically predicting this 2025 economic crisis or economic collapse. So I published an article back 2014 that you guys know, and we're currently in the crash. So that being said, Let's get to this Economic Times article. Trump session coming. Economists warn as a $4 trillion wipeout from the market after Trump's trade salvo backfires. And it's still going to go. I had said 2025, we're literally like, we saw the crypto market see a 30 to 40% correction. I think it's still currently down. It may have room to continue to go down. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but that correction has been seen. We saw a massive correction in the crypto market, and generally the crypto market's a good indication of what the stock market. We're still going to wait for that crash in the stock market. I'll get into another article that I posted. Where are we at? So this was posted on also in 2023 about oil prices. Oil prices hit their peak 2023 at $90 a barrel. And then what are oil prices now? This was yesterday, $66. What did I say about oil prices? I said oil prices would continue to tank. And what is a good indicator of the economic output of a vibrant economy or global economy of a trade, especially in globalization or globalized marketplace where supply lines and global trade is key to that a healthy, vibrant global marketplace? Oil. Oil is generally going to tell you a good indication of where the economy is going. High oil prices generally means there's higher demand for energy. And not only higher demand for energy, but it shows that there's economic output, that there's economic activity. It's generally a good indication. I'm not saying it's the only indication, but it's a good indication. And this is why I follow the oil prices and the gas marketplace to see where it's at. I know currently the European Union is paying almost 3 to 5 times what the United States is for natural gas to heat their homes and for businesses and industry. That's not sustainable. Where is that going to be affected? It's going to be affected in the supply lines. It's going to be affected in economic output. It's going to be affected in the high prices and inflation. I mean, definitely. So I'll get back to this Twitter post that I had here. So I did sub post to this news story from the oil prices from oilprices.com. And I said the reason why oil is headed to record prices is not too distant future is because oil product producers are having staffing issues. They can't find enough qualified workers. Due to negative oil prices in 2020, a lot of skilled workers left the industry altogether. And this is true. I was working in the industry. I have a lot of friends working in the industry, and they left. They did come back a little bit, but right now they don't need them. And why do they not need them? Well, the reason why they don't need them is because they have a surplus of oil. There is tons and tons of oil, cubic tons of oil just sitting in reserves on Russia, all over the world. Like it's just sitting, it's just piling up. So they've been cutting back on production because they have just too much oil. They don't know what to do with it because nobody's buying it. The tariffs, embargoes, the decline in economic activity, supply line shutdowns. It's just piling up. Next article that I subheaded to this. The current U.S. stock market today is valued around $46.2 trillion. Currently, retirement funds represent about 53% of liquidity in the market, i.e. pensions roughly 18.4 trillion, 40%. 40% of the stock market is pensions. Let me repeat that. 40% of the U.S. stock market are pension funds that are being gambled away, right? All right, pay attention to that. And 401ks, which are private pensions, this is 401ks are basically if you work for a private company or you work for an organization and they offer a private retirement fund that you can manage through like Vanguard or any one of these hedge funds or investment firms. And that represents 6.3 trillion. So the question that I asked is, what happens to those retirement funds when a major recession occurs and there's a market correction? What happens? That's the question to ask. What happens when BlackRock, Vanguard, JP Morgan, who control like I would say close to, I mean, we see right here 40% to 60% of the market. What happens when the stock market sees a 30% to 70% correction? And not only, I would say at least a minimum 30% correction is going to be seen in 2025 alone. 30%. We're already at 6. It's going to grow. That's going to happen because the trade wars, the tariffs, economic activity, oil prices dropping to $60 a barrel. Eventually, will be at $50 to $40 a barrel. I don't know if we're going to see negative oil prices, but it will continue to drop. You can take that to the bank. Not financial advice, but this is my analysis. But what do you think is going to happen when you have Joe Schmo and Susie Homemaker, who are 65, 70 years old? They're working until they die, basically, in the West, and they're like, well, they start doing layoffs, because when they start cutting the fat, these private corporations, the government, think about how many government employees are in their 60s right now. Just go look at Congress. Go look at Trump's like 70 something years old. Nancy Pelosi, Schumer, all these people are in their 70s. That's a representative of the government. That's a representative of the American government. Probably Europe. I haven't done analysis there, but I'm speaking from a North American perspective. But in the United States, a lot of government employees are in their 60s. They're working until they die, basically. They don't have the money to retire. So what happens when state employee pensions, cops, firemen, teachers, all these boomers that are working and working to pay for these fucking homes, and they're like, I got to retire, but I can't because I got to keep working because of this massive inflation. Hopefully my pension's going to be able to pay out when I retire. And what happens when the pensions and private 401ks and all the investments go poof, like that, like the crypto market just did? What's going to happen? Because the crypto market correction, that affected younger people mostly, because most of the people that are investing in crypto are, let's face it, Zoomers, millennials, and younger X-Gens. They're the bulk of the people investing in that, plus the hedge funds and whatnot, the people gambling. What's going to happen to the boomers when they lose their pensions, when they lose their retirements? What do you think is going to happen? Oh, shit, I got to retire, and now I don't have any type of pension or 401k. It's gone. I lost 40 to 60% of my pension. I got to make that up somehow. Well, I'm going to sell my boat. I'm going to sell my RV. I'm going to sell my second home. I'm going to sell my third rental property. I'm going to sell my B&B. I'm going to sell my land. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. So what's that going to do to the housing? What is that going to do to the housing market? And I'm not even talking about the hedge funds. I'm not even talking about BlackRock, or any of the other hedge funds or any of the other type of investors that own a lot of real estate. I'm just talking about, Joe Schmo and Susie Homemaker. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen in the housing market? We know the commercial real estate market is done. There are no jobs. I've covered this, links in the description for the podcast that I did on jobs and fake jobs. There are no jobs. During COVID, all the jobs went to remote working because they couldn't afford to keep people with the quarantines and everything and the economic slowdown. They couldn't afford to keep people at work. So they did massive layoffs. They did, they said, stay at home, because they couldn't afford to continue to operate. That affected the commercial real estate market. Joel Slente talks about it all the time. But what about the residential market? What about the residential real estate market? And even the commercial real estate market, like with apartments and single family apartments, homes, things of that nature. What do you think is going to happen? Yeah, you can see massive correction. Massive correction. You're going to see a Great Depression style collapse in 2025. It's starting now. Right now. I gave you guys warning. Those of you that followed me, I gave you a warning 3 years ago. I said this was going to happen. You need to prepare. Put some money in crypto, not financial advice, and sell it right before March. And take that money, hold it, see what you can do with it. Wait till the real estate market sees a major correction, not financial advice. Then go buy up some cheap property. What do you think is going to happen? We're going to see a housing market crash on a global scale, not just in North America, not just the United States. We're talking about a commercial and residential real estate market that is going to destroy and implode and just go poof on a massive scale. This is coming. It is happening now. You can look outside my window right now. I've got 30 properties, 30 high-rise buildings being built as we speak right now, just in my one little district in Tbilisi. High-rise, everything. I'll go take the camera and I'll show you. We're gonna go look. I might even go mobile. But yeah, this is happening. This is happening. The prediction is real. This happened. We're in the economic recession that I predicted, and it's now 2025. And I had said hashtag collapse 2025. This is happening. There are no jobs. There is no savior. There's no Trump the savior. No, nobody's coming to save you, bro. Nobody's coming to save you. Get the hell out of the cities, out of the major capitals. Try to go to like rural areas. Don't stay in the suburbs. Don't stay near major cities. I'm not saying because there's going to be some kind of war or anything like that. I'm just saying that you need to grow food because there might be famines. Yeah, there might be supply line shortages, food shortages, all kinds of stuff. Even though there's plenty of oil, where's this money going? It's all being pissed away on this war in Ukraine. It's all being pissed away on DEI. It's all being pissed away on boomers. It's all being pissed away on bloated government contracts and government people. That's where it's all being pissed away. The greedy assholes have taken more than they can chew, and now they're trying to consume the rest of what's available. We're going to see a major Mad Max style economic collapse. We're in it now. We're in the collapse. And that being said, I think I might end it with that. Other than I'm going to show you. I'm going to take it. We got to take a nice little excursion here. So let me go ahead and show you the stuff. Hold on. Get my camera out. Oh God. Let me see if I can. Hold on. Let me see if I can take it and show you guys. Can you guys see that? So like all these like little buildings, you see all the like all the construction going on. Yeah, that stuff is going to, you're going to see that. You're going to see half empty work. You're going to see buildings that are half finished. You're going to see these projects fail. No one's going to buy the property. I've already got 10 buildings right now here that are completely empty, finished, ready to be sold, and nobody's buying them. That being said, guys, I want to thank you for joining with me. Remember, like, subscribe, buy an e-bike, because when the power grid goes down, there was no more petrol coming in. You're going to need some transportation. Links in the description. Good night. Good luck. And stay tuned. Oh, yeah, tomorrow we got Terrence Pop and Liquid Monkey coming on the podcast. And we're going to be talking about Thai vampires. So be there for that. Stay tuned. Like, subscribe, share with friends. Thank you. Do Sigma males make good leaders? That's the other question. Yeah, I would say so. I would say that Sigma males make excellent leaders. And the reason why they make excellent leaders is because they're authentic, they're transparent, excellent communication skills, and they often possess self-confidence and leadership qualities.